Have you ever thought about what dogs do in the summer? Well, I have one. It's a German Shepherd. Um, and at 40 degrees Celsius, it is quite hot. She really likes hanging around and doing a lot of activities. But now she can't really stay anywhere except for the kitchen floor, which is the coolest. I thought, what can I use to cool the dog except air conditioning? Air conditioning uses a lot of power and energy, so I wanted a more efficient version. So I started tinkering with ideas and I looked over water cooling. That sounded really interesting. I looked at some models and I saw that all the cooling systems have three main components. The thing that needs to be cooled, uh, for example, the CPU, the coolant, that usually it's water or some oil, and something that cools the coolant after it gets heated from the CPU. That's usually made with fans or something cold. So I started planning, and I decided to make a cooling system for my dog's bed.
Okay, so now this is the explanation for how does the water cooling system for my dog actually functions, and this is the proof of concept. So I started by thinking about what is the best shape to use for a pipe in order to collect as much heat. I could have used also for the cooling system, I could have used a fan, but that would scare the dog off and not really good, creates a lot of wind, and better use the AC. I wanted an alternative to the air conditioning that would consume much less electricity throughout the day. So I thought about making a copper pipe that goes under the dog's bed. So this black box represents the dog's bed. Under it, there is this S-shaped, in a way, cup white pipe. In real life, it's a copper pipe, and at the ends, as you can see, it is connected to an ice tank through PVC pipes. In the ice tank is just a big bowl where I've put a Gardena pump, the one used for flowers. I just bought it at a department store and used it for this application. In the ice tank, you have ice and of course water that will flow into the circuit. And that's basically how it works.
Now you can see a picture of the setup of the cooling system. As you can see, the copper pipe is connected to the two PVC rods, and they are both connected to the bowl with water and the pump in it. As you can see here, there are two main problems. Uh, the linkage between the pipes, uh, it's quite unstable and it's constantly leaking, so I didn't fit properly the diameters of the both rods. That's why we get leaks. After I bent the pipe, I took the dog's bed and put it over it and realized that the dog bed is too thick for this project. Having such a volume, we had two options. One, to flow a lot more water, so that means the pump to function at a higher speed, thus using more electricity, or using a smaller dog bed. That was also not an option because I already had this one. Also, the insulation in the uh, water container, it's almost non-existent. I put some ice cubes in it, but that's not enough to cool the system. So I had to make an hermetic seal for the future version. I also have a short video on how does these functions. When I plugged it in, the motor starts spinning, so the pump starts pumping water inside the tube. But as soon as I plugged the contraption, my dog suddenly jumped off the bed and moved to another room. It was quite scared of the noise, and that's another issue I have. As you can see, it's a complete failure, but it can have small improvements. And finally, this is a dog photo. This is what my dog looked on the couch after seeing this fabulous invention. It was completely scared of it and had a very interesting reaction when I turned it on. So it became very scared of it, and I don't think it will go near it again. Now, I'd like to over-engineer this project, so I'm gonna create a version 2 of it. So just because you stick to the end, you can see now that these improved versions will have some modifications. One being that the PVC pipes will be correctly linked and won't be leaking to the copper pipe. I think I'm gonna take the copper pipe, cut it into bits, and have 4 parallel lines that run into 2 main lines. So I'm gonna make a square with 5 lines inside of it, similarly to an ice skate ring. So the water will flow from 5 tubes into one main tube, and afterwards it will go into the same pipe and back to the tank of water. The tank of water will also have some improvements. It will be hermetically sealed. It will have, I think I will make it like a thermos. It's gonna have a layer of air between the outside and the inside in order to preserve the heat and lose as little energy as possible. Also, I'm gonna have to make the pump, use another pump, or maybe build it on my own. I'm gonna see about that. Maybe I'm gonna just change this pipe to rotate slower, give it a lower voltage, not the regular 5 volts. So it was a really nice project, uh, and I'm waiting to start the second part and show you the result.